Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to another session. Not session. Yes, it's an episode. We are in the .NET and AI community stand up. And hey, today I am super happy because I am with my two friends here, Pablo and Japhlet. And I know before starting, let me introduce myself. My name is Bruno. I'm part of the Cloud Advocate teams. I really like to do stuff in .NET and AI. And today, before I invite them to talk, because we have a question from Daranish. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm the worst with the names. What is this for? We are going to talk about what are we expecting from Microsoft build in a couple of weeks in related to AI, .NET, and more. And also, we are going to show one kind of a big repository with .NET and AI samples. So that's kind of the idea of today's episode. And before I move forward, Pablo, do you want to introduce yourself, please?
Absolutely. Hey, folks, I'm really excited to be here with you. I know it may sound strange. Why should I care about Build? Some people don't know this, right? But Build is actually one of the best events that we had at Microsoft. A lot of people are really doing really hard work, and I am so excited even to be at Build this year. So if you want to meet me and Bruno, we're gonna be at Build in expert zones, we're gonna be doing labs, we're gonna be everywhere talking with you. And not only that, we're gonna have major new things in .NET. I want you to stay tuned for that. So yeah, why you should this is for is to understand how can we do AI net and just net, right? Because we're gonna net aspire tooling. We're gonna have so much more than like our user stand-ups that I cannot expect you folks to, even if you cannot go to Seattle and go to build, follow online, share. Look, we're gonna post on LinkedIn. We're gonna have so many new things that it's important for you to like cut the noise and understand what you should look towards build. But what I do, I'm Pablo Lopes. I'm a cloud advocate. I'm actually in Bruno's team, and funnily enough, Bruno was my previous manager. So so
And then you
we
say, no more. I need to stop this. And I run away.
you're gonna run away.
Not
But
very
yeah,
far. We are part of the same team,
we
but
yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm so excited to be here, folks, with you. I believe it's my second live stream with Bruno. So, enjoy this live stream. We're going to talk so much about what you can follow to improve your skills. And, this new AI thing that is evolving every time, you're going to see new things and how you're going to follow that.
perfect. And hey, Japhlet,
Yeah,
hello.
glad to be here with both of you. Again, I enjoyed the music that came before this. I was literally dancing and almost forgot to turn on my video, but thank God I did that on time. But it's great to be here with both of you, Pablo and Bruno. All of us are .NET Cloud Advocates. Bruno used to be my manager, and it's great to be here with him. Always supportive. Same for Pablo. It's an amazing .NET team here at Microsoft. I wish you all would be part of it. But hey, we're here to speak on your behalf. We're here to advocate all that has to do with .NET and to make sure that we're ensuring that you all get the best experience when it comes to .NET. So be rest assured that at Microsoft Build, you would have the best and amazing .NET features being released. Um, we would have to keep our mouths sealed, which we are trying to keep our mouths sealed so we don't reveal everything that's in store. But there are lots of things that we're going to talk about that Microsoft Build is coming with as always. We're looking forward to it.
Yes, and hey, by the way, thanks to everyone who is also joining. This was just a joke about, hey, since when people start to talk about you, and yes, we know Bruno. Oh my God, this is an intervention.
It is an
Maybe I have
intervention.
too many online shows about this. And hey, that is cool, super cool from Twitch. I am trying to log into Twitch and having some issues there. So I will try to answer the questions here if we have some questions. And final step before we switch is if you take a look at me, I'm looking demos here, comments here. We have a 10-20 second delay between the comments and more. But if you have any questions or if you have anything that you want to share, please let us know and we will basically be here trying to answer everything. So divine intervention, yes, I know. Fun times. So let's start with the beginning before we switch to build. Let me share one repo that we have right now, which is the eShop little repo. And why do we have it? I'm going to share the link in all of the comments so you can do it. You can take a look at this. So we started the generative AI for .NET course a couple of months ago. I think it was mid-February. Pablo, myself, we spent a lot of time working on that. We keep working on the repo, adding new samples and more. And the samples that we started to create are all these eShopLite, which is a super small e-commerce application. And we use this as kind of an excuse to say, okay, if we want to add AI here and do a semantic search, in example, this is how you can do it. And then we started to add in example flavors of the semantic search, where we use Azure AI Search, or we use ChromaDB, or we use the new, back in the days, now they are not new anymore, but real-time audio models where you can speak in real time and do search back. So we used to have several different repos, and what we did is we put all of the repos all together in this, let me refresh this, how it's not browsing, in this repo that right now have 6 scenarios, literally the ones that I mentioned: ChromaDB, Azure AI Search, real-time audio, using a reasoning model, DeepSeek R1. We have also a sample using Model Context Protocol, MCP, because we are all about MCP right now. And the whole idea is, in example, if you want to take a look at one of the scenarios, you can go to the scenario, you will have here the full description, implementation. This is a test. I was trying to figure out if Copilot can generate architecture diagram using Mermaid. It's almost there. It's fine. Mermaid architecture diagram are in beta right now, in preview phase, and it's kind of nice, but it's all generated with Copilot, with GitHub Copilot, from the code that we have there. So this is how you can do MCP, and hey, you can even have here the folder with the source control where you can see everything. So this is, in example, the MCP project, which is a big one. Let me put ourselves, the team here. Oh, let's go here, so we bother less. So this is a big one. We have, of course, Aspire, Host, and then we have a front end. That is the main front end that we have there, that is connected to a server of MCP that interact with the several agents that we have here to do online research and more. I really like using Aspire, that the way that we can see this right now, let me run this, is literally with a super nice chart, which sometimes is hard to arrange. So let's see in which monitor we are going to have the demo. There it is. So this is the Aspire full solution. You can see here that we have a lot of stuff. And in the graph, we see that, where is the store? Okay, so this is the store that calls the server, and the server call a lot of services, and one of the services, in example, interact with the SQL Server DB. If we want to make this, we want to take a look at this up and running, we can go to the store. Let me go to search, and let's do something like, tell me the camping trendings for 2025 in Canada and show related products. And the key part here is that this front end, because it's using MCP, have access to a lot of server tools to do online search using Bing, keyword search, parks information, weather for cities. So let's go rogue and do everything. And when we run this, it's going to start to work. It's going to take some time, but we can go here to the traces and start to see here, like at any moment, we are going to see that, in example, this one, what we see here in the bottom is that the initial request went to the MCP server that, oh, I'm probably solved this using the online research agent. So I started to do some online research here, and after some time that they did the research, started to, okay, now that I know I found online the camping trends, I can start to search in the product database if we have some products that fit into these camping trends. And at the end of all of these, we are going to have a final server that is going to basically show the response. So if we go back here, we can see that we have a trace of the function call, and we have some links of the camping trending activities for 2025. And then we have 3 products that are literally the products that we have in the database for this. So There's a lot happening here, all orchestrated by Aspire. It's kind of nice. I like it because it's kind of a real scenario. Like, I haven't tested this one, but if I go back here and I say, I don't know, how is the weather in Sao Paulo? One of the tools that we have here, it's literally getting the weather for the city. I am going to disable the search, so I don't use the search for this one. But if I ask this question, crossing fingers, let's see how it works. We see that it called one function, didn't get the name of the function, but Pablo, 25.5 degrees. That makes sense?
It does make sense. I'm feeling I can't actually verify on my app, but outside it makes sense. São Paulo looks, very nice climate now.
Yes, and if we take a look at the traces here, because it's all part of the same trace, we need to see how we can do this. But we can see here that in order to get that info, the MCP server identify the call and do ABCs and more. And we have here a couple of calls to API.OpenMeteor and then geocoding, because the way that it works, as far as I remember, it was one of the samples that they have in their page, is you need to find the latitude and longitude for a city and then ask the weather for that. So, hey, kind of nice. And once again, it's all here. It's all in the eShop little scenarios. If someone wants to know more, if someone wants to see how it works and more, like an example, what else do you want to see here? I know that we are missing, and this goes back to Japhlet, Pablo, myself, and the team. We need to create one with SQL Server. .NET and SQL Server is a big community, so we want to add a scenario that is doing an example semantic search with SQL. We also have Davide, and we have a lot of cool features that we can show there. We also are planning to add one in, we talked about this yesterday, I can't remember. With Cosmos, we said, Pablo, Japhlet, do you remember? I can't remember. I think we said Cosmos.
Yeah, we are actually planning a lot of those on a lot of different DBs. It's a good part because now I'm actually gonna help a lot of people relating to the database folks as well on the team. So I'm really excited for that. That collaboration is gonna do very soon. And I'm gonna say right away, folks, if you have any suggestion for us on what you think will be very good to add on the comments. We read every single comment that you have. So please let us know any suggestions, anything you may like for us on that end. And we'll be really excited. But we got a question from José Silva, I believe, because he said he's from Brazil. So I'm gonna get José Silva as a pronunciation.
I think he's from Brazil. Yes, Jose, can you? I will say yes because I think that he at the beginning introduced. Yes, he's from Brazil. I say yes. Brazil.
So I'm gonna say José Silva.
We can answer this one in English or in Portuguese.
I'm gonna say in English because you have an international community. Question. What is the difference between MCP and semantic kernel? Thank you, .NET team.
So I am going to tackle this. Feel free to interrupt me and keep me on it. So a couple of things. First of all, MCP is a standard that Anthropic presented, I think it was in November last year, that basically defined how agents can talk between each other. And the agent internally usually works with a large language model. That said, the MCP as a protocol, it become very, very popular. We started to see a lot of MCP tools and servers. Even Visual Studio Code right now allows you to add your MCP servers, and you can run, and there are servers to work with GitHub, with Figma, to do a lot of crazy things. But it's a standard. And the whole idea that we have right now is that we also have an SDK in C# that allows you to create your own servers. And by the way, there is local servers, remote servers, HTTP servers. There is a lot of talk about that. And also to consume services for MCP servers. So if you have a server, you can consume this. In this scenario, the main idea, the one that we show, is that instead of having a front end that directly call APIs, it will use the MCP approach where those APIs are kind of masked or wrapped into tools. That is the term in MCP. So you have an agent, you have a tool to know the weather. You have another tool to learn how to search online, an example. Another tool to learn information about the parks. So this front end is going to use MCP, the SDK, to do those calls. At the end, internally, You can even do this using function callings and LLMs, but MCP is kind of a better approach right now because it also involves a lot of. It's a growing. It's a growing ecosystem with they added a new stuff related to security right now. It has an amazing integration with API manager in Azure. I haven't tested, but I saw that Julia created a lot of amazing videos here and
Yeah.
there. So it's kind of a nice way to use intelligence, to add intelligence features to an app. I don't know. Anything else that you want to add, Pablo, Japhlet?
Absolutely. The good part is that MCP exists is that the MCP protocol it standardizes a lot of things because I like Semantic kernel and it does a lot of standardization. But the good part of MCP is that we can do a lot of standardization, and a lot of the industry is adopting it as a standard tool. So that's a good part of using MCP, in my opinion, and the tooling is really good. Of course, we have some criticism of MCP. I believe everyone knows
Yes.
the classic security. A lot of people talk about that, but that's a thing that's why it's very important when you design an MCP server or an MCP integration that you need to think about how you're going to make it secure. Architecture must be secure at first, and that's one of the points that when you have a new MCP thing I want to do, always aim to have a very secure no ground so you can build amazing MCP integrations. That's the only two
Yes,
things
and,
that
and our friend Sarah,
Yeah.
she is a security advocate.
Yeah.
She wrote an amazing article. I'm trying to find it.
yeah
Yeah. And for us, generally at Microsoft, security is key. Thanks, Pablo, for highlighting that. We love security, so always ensure that your applications are very, very secure. I wanted to highlight Marcy's comments regarding adding to the sample the vector embeddings in Redis. So one thing we love about all of these samples is you can always go over there, make a pull request, fork the repository, and just ensure that you're inputting all of the things you would love to see there. So please, if you would love to see anything there, you could either say it in the comment section now or go ahead and just fork the repository, include a PRO, and then our team will take a look at it and get those on the repository.
Yes, and I'm going to be super honest here. I was super lazy to do the Redis one because it's literally very, very similar to the ChromaDB. Let me explain why. So I am going to add it. Marcin is going to be here. It literally cook, but I didn't add it because I'm lazy. But the whole idea of the ChromaDB, if I remember well, is where we're doing the host here and we're doing the program. We are using Aspire, one of the capabilities of Aspire, to add a new resource. In this case, is ChromaDB, that is going to be a Docker container. So we add a Chroma DB container that is going to be later using as the vector database in the solution, and that's what we use to later store embeddings. I'm sorry, yes, store embeddings, get embeddings, and do the vector search and more. The Redis one, it's literally the same, changing these lines here for use a different container here. This is the Mason container, using a different port and more, but this was very, very similar. What we changed also is that in for ChromaDB, we have a specific SDK created. I can't remember. Let me go to the front end and to products and program. Yes, we have a ChromaDB client here. So we use the Chroma client. I can't remember what we have in .NET to use Redis, but this was very, very similar to this one. But yes, note taken. We are going to add the Redis sample in the list as a new scenario. And hey, if you see the need to do something else, happy to do that. And by the way, and I don't think that we mentioned this, one important part of this is that each one of these scenarios have the full source code, so you can run the solution. They are also ready to do an ACD app, so you can deploy them with all of the necessary resources to Azure in one command. So you log into your account and then you ACD app, and then you deploy everything. So that's it. Let me see with Redis if we have. I will say that we have everything there, but I also know that we have some Redis enterprise services in the cloud. But hey, we will add it into the list. And did I miss any other comments or?
I gonna ask one thing, Bruno, is just It is that easy from Chrome to be from Redis. I was not expecting that, honestly.
I may oversell it a little. So
I need
creating
to
the
ask. I need to ask.
no, creating the resources. If you want to use Redis as a container, it's literally the same approach. I want to see when we move to Redis, and we have people who are Redis experts, so I'm going to ask them if we want to use Redis services on Azure, how we should move there. So probably the Redis sample, we have the easy sample, kind of a starting one, and some kind of guidance on documentation. And hey, this is if you want to use the enterprise, Redis, whatever service, I can't remember the name, sorry, that we have in Azure. But the approach is literally the same. You can run this locally, you can do everything locally, and you are going to have a lot of fun with that.
Sounds good to me.
Hey, no, perfect. So let's talk about something fun, which is
Build.
build.
Drum
Build.
rolls.
Yeah. So first of all, if someone wants to go and wants to register for build,
Yeah,
let me
folks.
share here the
I
URL.
want to say, if you're coming to build, tell in the comments. Just say me. I'm going to build. I want to see how many people on this live is going to Microsoft Build.
Yes, and I think I shared the wrong link because that's register.build.microsoft or something like
Yeah,
this.
I think I registered on Microsoft's another thing. Yeah.
That's will do them. But hey, we have here Chuck attending this, and that's amazing. There is a lot of content that is going to be shared
Digital.
online. I think the labs are not going to be online because they need to be in person to do that. Everything else, probably 90% of more is going to be online. So take a look. Jose is saying that is going to do. Take a look at the online stuff because we have a lot of announcements, new stuff, and more. And hey, it's going to be everything online. So, in example, every year it starts with the finals of the Amazing Cup, which I really like because I know that Pablo and Japhlet are closer to this. They used to be student ambassador. They used to do a lot also around Amazing Cup. But every year I spend some time helping the teams try to move forward, get into the finals and more. Teddy says that he's also watching online. Cool. And hey, this is how we start. Basically, Amy, Pearl, and Donna are going to present the winner. We have 3 teams there. And fun fact, Pablo, Japhlet, do you know what is the prize for the winner? There are 2 super cool things there.
Wow, we have so many amazing prizes for Imagine Cup. I will say one thing that I really like about the Imagine Cup is that it's not only the winner that gets things. If you go to the final, if you reach the final, you already get some amazing prizes. So that's what I really like about the Imagine Cup is how much we actually spend and how much we care about these teams that go to the finals, right? They get trips from Seattle, which is really cool, by the way. You can go to Seattle and talk with amazing people there already. So what we have 3 teams on Imagine Cup. We have Argus, we have Hair Match, and we have Signverse. I actually can say this because I was on the rehearsal judges for them for the finals, so I already helped them, and I'm really excited for what the teams will present there. And when you may ask, wow, how many prizes we have? I know you're gonna. I believe they're still the same, right, Bruno? They're 100,000.
Oh no, yes, the main prize is $100,000. But what I also, which is always nice, is super nice, it's amazing. But I also like that the winner also have a coaching session with
Satya.
CEO, with Satya. Satya is going to spend some time with the winner to basically talk about the idea, the product, the future of the company, and more. So that's a good one. Oh, we have a good question here. I am going to add this one, Jose, to the list because we can talk about agent to agent later. We have some stuff here. So
yeah. So just before moving on, for Emerging Cup, I think something that's really interesting is seeing the amazing things students do. Right? It's really great to see young ones taking up the challenge and saying, "Hey, let's do something that's going to impact lives." And the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors Program is one great opportunity for them to do that. Aside Emerging Cup, they also have this quarterly challenges where they get to build projects and you get to see their amazing projects here. And then those projects you get to take it on and move it over to emerging corp and get to win. So it's all about solutions, solutions, solutions. These young ones thinking about something, being committed to build them till the end, ensure they're impacting lives, and you get rewarded. I mean, a conversation with Satya is something that everybody definitely wants. You get the knowledge, you get the experience, you get to learn a whole lot. Satya is solid, especially when it comes to tech tools. So yeah, it's really, really amazing to see them getting to that point where they can benefit from his experience.
Mhm. Oh my
Uh,
God, I can
I go
see
to
my.
the news. What is the new stuff that we have in Windows every day? I need to disable the widget. So, hey, if you are new to the build side, let me show you. And I like it because I literally went here to the filters that we have, and I said, okay, I don't care about the in Seattle or online, the start time, the session type. We have keynotes, lab, and more. But I went here to topic and I filter by developers tool and net. And it was nice to see that the two, one of these is the one that I am looking forward, is the this session from Amanda Silver, which is one of the key persons that we have managing all of the developer tools and more, and Mario Rodriguez from GitHub, and they are going to talk about agentic AI, how we can work with agents, but not just copilots completing code. It's literally an agent that works side by side with us and more. I really, really want to watch these sessions. And hey, cool things about this that this is going to be online, so people can register to build digital pass online, and then add this into your backpack, and then you are going to have the chance to watch it. And we can't say much. We can't say much about what is going to happen, but take a look at this one because a couple of things are going to literally blow your mind. So if I have to suggest, I will say, hey, that's one of my top three that I want to watch. And it was nice because I didn't even plan this, but I see that the next session we have a familiar name here. We have our friend
Oh,
John Galloway
oh yeah.
and Pablo. And you are
They
going to run a
Yeah.
lab about
Here's
C
the
Sharp.
famous one. No, no, John. John. That's one thing I want to say is that John Galloway is like worldwide famous. I'm just like not famous at all. But John,
No, no,
is a
don't do
big.
that, Pablo.
It is a big no. It is a big pleasure presenting a bit of lab with John. John is incredible in every single way. Every time I worked with him, he was fantastic. So we are really excited to be one of the main lines on Build because you can see it's actually one of the first presentations that being shown to people is like 307. So there's a lot of responsibility for me, not gonna lie, because it's my first build lab. Would be already a mainliner on the labs, but we are really excited to show what can you do with AI templates, GitHub models, Azure OpenAI, and much more.
Yes, and
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt, but if someone can search for the latest AI template, and we talk about AI templates with Jordan 2 months ago. I can remember when we released the first preview, but
Mhm.
there is a new version that we released literally 2 weeks ago, I think, or something. If someone can share, let me try to find here .NET blog.
Oh, you're gonna be quicker if because I'm not touching my keyboard, so you're gonna type
Hey, no
faster.
problem. So where is the
And I
preview
mean,
to? Here it is. So I
just for
find
those
it.
watching, yeah, just for those watching, Pablo is a celebrity. So yes, glad to have two celebrities on that session. But I mean, it's also great to be talking about generative AI. And something that really wanted to point out is the fact that a lot of times when I have conversations with people who use .NET, whenever they need to build AI solutions, most times they have to either use Python or something else. And that's been like, one challenge lots of .NET developers have had. But it's really great that we're now trying to help you people to see that you can actually get stuff done with .NET, AI solutions being built with .NET. And Pablo is going to be talking about that. Pablo, this is in person, but I'm sure at the end of your session, you'd have resources that you can share with people so that give them an overview of what it's
We
about.
have so many resources, man. This lab is, I'll not say it's gigantic, because it is now we have to compact for like X amount of minutes. But those are kind of labs that we really need to shine, right? Those are labs that we are showing you features, we're showing how to do everything. So, and one thing I want to may add on the AI templates are actually amazing. You can actually learn a lot only doing using templating and then using, for instance, I Bruno already scrolled like using Aspire. It's so easy. It's just a click of a button. That's it. That's the only
Yes,
thing that you need that.
and
Mhm.
keep me honest here, Pablo. I think that when Jordan showed me this last time, and I don't know if I have the latest version installed, but if you want to learn about AI, this is an amazing because you literally create a new project that is a chat application, full Blazor chat application, amazing. But the interesting part also is that you can choose which AI platform you want to use. If you want to
Yeah.
use, in example, Olama with local models, Olama is there. If you want to use GitHub models, that you only need your GitHub account and then you have access to some models, compute every day, you can use that. And there's also OpenAI, Azure OpenAI, and more. And I like that in the latest version we have Aspire also. I like it. I didn't remember about that.
Yeah, so we are actually building. I cannot say much because I don't want to spoiler much, but one thing I'm gonna say is that um AI templates are really strong now. They are
Yes.
incredibly strong. They are very easy to implement new functions. And if you want to kickstart to understand how to do anything with generative AI, that's the way to start, in my opinion, on that. I will say Net now feels really strong on generative AI capabilities. There's a thing that was not a given for some time, but now that's my opinion. I know it's dangerous, in my opinion, in a Microsoft session, but I feel Net now feels pretty strong on generative AI. We have so many good things that you can do locally. You don't need to go. I know we have things, amazing other things as well, but I think Net now is really good. You can generate a whole app just with .NET. You don't need to go here, go there, do that, do that. .NET now it's a very end-to-end capable AI platform.
Yes, and it's not built and it's not part of today pitch, but you can do
But
a lot with local models. Like an
you
example,
can.
people who follow me knows that I have Olama and I
You
run
are the
Olama in
Olama
Docker.
guy.
Yes, but you also, Docker right now have the chance to host their own models. So you can ask Docker to host models and it works very, very, very nice. So you can run local models with Olama, you can run local models with Docker, or even better, let me open, there it is. Even better, you can, and let's zoom this a little so people don't lose their eyes
VS.
watching like
Oh,
this. You
insiders.
can even use the AI toolkit, which is extension, a free extension that you have to run in Visual Studio Code, which is also free, but you can, okay, take your time. You can even have models here. So let me open the model catalog. It's going to open here. You see that you have some models, and you can add those models to be used locally by your machine, or take a look here. Come on. Where if you don't load the model locally, you can run the AI toolkit is going to host the model for you. You are going to have an endpoint, and that endpoint is going to allow you to interact with the model. And the cool thing about this is that you can literally use the same code in Microsoft Extension AI that is in the AI chat template to use the local model in Olama, in Docker models, or even in the AI toolkit. And I write something. If you search for me, I write some crappy demos about this. Not the official demos. It's some
No, don't
crappy
call
sample,
those. No,
but
call
is
those.
there. And I really like this because it gives you the chance to not just Olama. You have a lot of stuff here that you can use. You can use Onyx locally in AI toolkit, or I don't have any model downloaded right now, but you can even go to Docker models and run this. So it's kind of a super nice way to do this. And maybe next iteration, Pablo, we can ask Jordan and the team to include these local options also in the AI toolkit and also in the Docker desktop. What do you think?
Yeah, makes sense. Let's hope that we are really observing how much this will be accepted by the community, and I think we are growing really quickly on this templating side. So yeah, I would say that we can look towards that.
Yes, and hey,
Yeah.
is someone internally is
Oh
keeping
yeah.
me honest because as part of our main generative AI course, one of the and I did this literally. Where is this? What's new? There it is. One of the latest samples that we have here is literally the code that you need to run these samples. So if you go here in the source folder, we see here that where is MAI? There it is. So we have basic chat, we have Docker models with chat, with semantic kernel or Microsoft extension, and here on the top, you also have AI Toolkit chat and AI Toolkit Microsoft extension. So if you want to see how you can implement this, running models locally with Olama, AI Toolkit, or Docker models, you have here the sample. And I'm sorry about this, I completely forget. Let me share the
Yeah.
link of the Gen AI.
Sure. And speaking of Microsoft extensions AI, there is one session as part of Microsoft Build that actually walks through this, and the session is in the charts. I just shared it.
What's the number of the session or the name?
That's BRK 104. Yeah, I think
Well,
that'll be easier. Right. So that session will be by Jeremy, Jordan, and Lewis, who are also part of like the .NET ecosystem, and they'll be walking you through how to utilize Microsoft extensions AI, but you also get to utilize MCP and agents, all of these, showing you how to build .NET applications. For those who are not really conversant with Microsoft extensions AI, there is a blog which will have that just kind of like walks through what this is about. It's on the App Store on Azure blog. You can check that out just to have some prerequisite knowledge. So when these guys are actually going through this, it's not all new for you. And then you could also check out the generative AI for .NET curriculum, which our team has built, and then you could see how to get started utilizing it, because it's going to be really exciting, and they're going to have a lot and a lot of labs and demos to like walk everyone through.
yes, and hey, this is a cool one, and this is on the 22nd. I think I'm free for this one, but I think I have a conflict with something else that we are doing. I will try to be here on the room. I will try to be online also to chat with the people. But yes, take a look at this one. By the way, Jeremy, Jordan, and Luis are three super nice people. They are amazing. They know a lot,
Yeah,
but they're also lovely persons, and it's always nice to to see them talking about everything. And hey,
yeah.
you have here MCP, agents, you have a lot of stuff that is going to be part there. And the Microsoft Attention AI is kind of the core piece for this.
Mhm. And just to highlight, so people don't forget, you can add to your schedule and your calendar. I think that's also something that's interesting for this year's Microsoft build, adding to your calendar so you don't forget and you miss that session. I think you
Yes,
should
I
do
am not
that,
going to
Bruno.
show my calendar because my calendar is kind of a
Yep.
mess right now. If I open my work calendar, I cry. So I am not doing a lot of calendar these days. But yes, you can do that. And hey, by the way, this is all going to be recorded. So if you can't watch this live, you can come back later once the recording is processed, and it's going to be there with everything that you need there. So hey, take a look at that. Before we move forward, let me go back here to Marcin question. Yes, Docker models. Yes, it's a new option in Docker. Initially, when it was released only. Sorry, when they first released Docker models, it only works on Mac. Now it's available on Windows. I have here, that's my Windows machine. So you have models, but in order to get this, you need somehow to enable here a couple of features in development so you have access to all of this. So if you have the latest version of Docker Desktop and you can't see the models option, you need to go here in features in development and start to enable literally the Docker model runner and also add some TCP support. You can make the calls there. It will install an update. 5 minutes later, you are going to have Docker models as an option here to use. But yes, it's super cool, super nice. And I am not a Docker expert. I need to probably go back here to Frank or Justin, who are our friends who knows a lot about this. But what I like about this can be easily part of a deployment process where you can pack an application, containerize a full solution, deploy the solution, and it may include this model as part of a solution. So it's going to be automatically recognized and be there and more. So there is something super nice here. Let's see how it evolves. So thanks, Marcin, for the comments, and I hope also it makes sense that yes, it's here in Docker, but it's a beta. Beta? Yes, it's a beta feature, so you need to enable this in order to see this. So moving forward, where we are. Okay, we talk about Jordan, Jeremy, and Luis session, and we talk about Pablo's session also.
Yeah.
What else do we have here? I know we have a list, but I can't find the list.
I mean, we need to talk about the big stars, right?
I mean, yes, we have. I know what you mean. If we go here, there is one that we always like to see, which
Your
is
session, Bruno.
Let's go. Yeah, need to talk about this. Come on, it is the .NET community stand-up. Of course, people are gonna ask about Hanselman.
Yes, and I also like the flow that Scott and Mark have there. By the way, they run a super amazing show in podcast and also live where they talk about technology and more. And take a look at this session. Last time, I can't remember if the last time they tried to create a kind of a tool to clean your desktop or more using AI. It was super fun, but they also talk a lot. Mark also share a lot of insights and experience when he was building tools like Zoomit, the one that I use to do all of this and more when he created all of this. So yes, this is a must have here, and I am going to add it literally to my schedule right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you want me to pull my list, but I know Japhlet has his list as well. Go, Japhlet.
Oh no, I was going to say we don't have to miss Bruno's session. Bruno has a session at Microsoft Build with Aaron. So let's see Bruno's session, and maybe Bruno, you can walk us through your session, or probably give me the honors to do that.
I am going to be also totally honest here. Oh no, I'm not the speaker anymore. Wow, that's amazing. Aaron
isn't the first one with
I can't remember. I probably have.
Let me share the link.
Or if you share the link, it's going to be faster. Yep. Or maybe it's not tagged as developer and .NET. So
it is not the tag. Yeah, take a look. Oh, there you go. Isn't this one? There we go.
Because it's tagged cloud first and then .NET because we use AI Foundry.
Yeah,
but yes, we will have a lab. I need to share literally 99.99% of the kudos here to Aaron. But this lab only for people there, but we will probably do something later. And we are going to basically show how you can create an AI agent in AI Foundry with .NET. And it's a super interesting one because we basically start explaining what is an agent, what you can do with an agent, what you expect in an agent, the tools that an agent can use, code interpreter, search online, and more. And then we pick up a real scenario and we start to do the necessary steps to add all of these agents concept to have a fully functional agent here. And it's a nice one. It's going to be a good one. I hope people really, really enjoy it. As I said, Aaron did the heavy work here, preparing everything. We learn a lot in the process. We share a lot of feedback in the process. A cool thing that I expect here is that when we talk about this, there are going to be new concepts that are going to be presented at Build. So we are going to basically connect the dots between a lot of things that are happening right now. But yes, I will share it's going to be probably in the first show that we will host on June after Build. I will share my insights about how it went, what I like, don't like, and more, because I've been proctoring a couple of labs in other activities, but this one is going to be special for a couple of reasons that we can't tell. Sorry about that, but there is a lot of new stuff that we really like here.
Yeah, Oh man, Japhlet wants you to share. Wow, a blog post. What is the blog post is?
Yes, let me try to find it because this is cool from Japhlet. Let me go here.
Yeah,
When
and for those who need to understand what
Yeah,
Microsoft.extensions.ai
yeah.
is all about, I think this should be a great start for you to get started. Plus the GitHub repository, I think that's also something that we might want to share with everyone so they can go through it and get started.
yes, and hey, I like it. We this is this from this week, no? Yes, May the 1st. So a couple of days before the Star Wars days, which is my reference in May. Everything in May happens around May the 4th. So you can be before May the 4th or after May the 4th. So that's the reference. But yes, when you published this last week, I really like it because one more time, if you need to start, if you need to learn, GitHub models are the place to go. We talk a lot about GitHub models. We share a lot of information how you can start. The Zen AI, it's based on GitHub models when you are starting. So they are a great resource to do this. So we have here the chance to use GitHub models. And then somewhere here, you even, as far as I remember, you even go further and explain how you can move the initial sample to Azure Japhlet. Is this correct?
Yeah, that's true. So just in case you want to do something more extensive, again, GitHub models, you need to test things out quickly, but then you want to move over to Azure AI Foundry, which is like the big thing. You can definitely go on and just learn how you can get started creating everything bit by bit using Azure AI Foundry. And that's exactly the same way for all the generative AI solutions, especially the generative AI for
Mhm.
beginners.net. Bruno and Pablo also ensured that they also showed you how to use GitHub models, but also use Azure AI Foundry. So you're not
Yeah.
just restricted to using one of these. You can use both of them, depending on what's convenient for you.
Yes, and
Also,
what is
something,
interesting? Yes, please,
yeah.
Japhlet, go, please.
Oh yeah. So something I also wanted to highlight is as part of Microsoft Build. So for a lot of people, or for a couple of people who have probably been to the generative AI for beginners curriculum, not the .NET one, they have usually been there and seen, all of the demos being done in Python or being done in JavaScript, but then the .NET ones are not updated. And so, as a something exciting that you all are going to see prior to build or after build, all the .NET modules and samples that's part of the generative AI for beginners curriculum would be updated, so you can go over there and instead of just checking out the Python resources, you can check out the .NET resources and get started building them.
I mean that I really like that you are super optimistic that we are going to update everything just after build. I will probably say, okay, after build, in the near time after build, maybe the next week or a couple of weeks later, we are going to update everything there. But yes, it's work in progress. We are trying to do our best to have everything up and running there. And hey, I don't want to forget also that if you have any questions, or let me go here and try to open this AI Foundry. So if you have any questions and you want to contact us and you want to talk about AI and more, let me general discussions. So we have a Discord community, and my Discord is a mess. Sorry, I joined a lot of stuff and then I forget that I am there. But we are going to share the link here. But you can join the Azure AI Foundry Discord server, and then you are going to have access to a lot of stuff. Like, in example, I follow the Share Your Project, where people literally, Lee mentioned that the 5.4 reasoning model samples are available right now, so you can run in Olama if you want 5.4 reasoning. Someone mentioned here that they created a multi-agentic tool. We have the .NET questions where you can see people asking questions. We try to help here. You also have semantic kernel. So take a look at the Discord channel. We are there. We spend there some time. If you want to find the link for Discord, in the eShop little in example, I think in one of the first, there it is. One of the first link is the AI Foundry. So You have it there. There is also 20 plus thousand people there, 20,000 plus people there, which is a lot of people. And there is a lot of advocates, .NET expert, AI expert, Python expert, a lot of people who really know a lot. So if you have a question, if you want to ask for something, that's probably a better place to connect with us instead of waiting 2 weeks here. But hey,
Yeah,
I spent some time in Discord and I like it. Yes, Pablo, sorry.
I would say right now, Ping, if you have doubts, go to AI Foundry. It's incredible because you're gonna have so many people answering your questions. And as Bruno said, almost everyone is there. I know we have some plans of Discord, but we are going now build mode. So, but I'm hoping that I can do something with Discord pretty soon as well.
Oh, yes, we spent some time there. We were even planning, and I don't know if people think it's a good idea or not, to host some office hours there, focus on .NET and AI. So every week, in example, spend an hour there trying to talk about something .NET and AI related. So there are a couple of ideas here around, but take a look at Discord, and if you want to
Yeah.
join, just be
By,
there. Even just
by
say
the
hi.
way,
Yes.
if you would like to us to go to Discord every week, say in the comments yes, no, like, dislike. We really want to know what you think about us hosting some office hours. If you have some opinions on that, I really like having this call because it gives us the opportunity to know what the community thinks as well.
Yeah. So, in example, it's nice to have this, which I really don't know if it's a
I
serial code
I
or
think
something.
that's super.
If you can share some context here, Marius, about this, we will be happy to
I
try
I
to help.
did. Mario's, is this a real message or this is? I really like having those calls because they have like comments like this. They have like no clue what you do with that.
Yes, and once again, sorry for not being also live in Twitch, but somehow something happened with my Twitch account, and I need
Yeah.
to figure out what to do. Okay,
Uh,
we are getting to the end of the
we need,
hour. I don't
we need
know,
to answer
Pablo, Japhlet, anything else that you want to share? Any other session and anything else that we want to talk about?
we need to answer the question from Jose.
Oh,
But other than that,
agents.
yeah.
Okay, so agents, I have it here and I have it here.
Hmm?
So literally today, that's what I have Jose question about agents. Literally today, we make official a couple of things that we are working right now related to agents. So let me share the link here in the chat if someone wants to read this. But this is basically how our AI platform, in this case AI Foundry, that is used for 70,000 enterprise and digital companies, yada, yada, yada. But this is the approach that we are talking and that we are having in terms of also support A2A or agent to agent, Google's protocol for this. So take a look here. We still have a lot of, this is super in early development phases. So as soon as we can, I will try to show some code here. We don't have a lot of code to share right now publicly, but take a look at this. This is kind of the official one, and you can take a look at, okay, this is how we are going to work. And by the way, this video from Asha, which is our AI platform boss that we have here, literally shows a lot of stuff that we have here. So yes, it's thanks, Jose. It's a great explanation, and yes, exciting times. Yes, I know there are a lot of things happening, and if you want my final thoughts around this is that I really appreciate. I'm really happy that we have MCP definitions, agent to agent definition, and more, because last year we were getting a point that everybody's starting to use models like crazy and make the connection between models, the ideas of agents and more is going to starting to get super fuzzy. Right now we have kind of a couple of ways to go in one direction or the other. So supporting those ways is going to help us to create better samples, better coding to make our application much more smarter and more. So agent to agent is there. We are talking about this. We are implementing this. And we like it a lot. Okay, we have a last question. I can take it, but who wants to take it? Because I always have the feeling that I speak a lot about this, so people know my point of view. I don't know. Japhlet, Pablo?
I can say it. Here's the thing about how I trust about Copilot. It's in the name. That's the only thing I always talk about people. It's in the name. It's co pilot. Well, what it means, it is trustable enough for your production be ready coding. I would say it is if you think so. That's the whole point. And remember, this very successful to watch your prompt. If your prompt is not good, it will write very generic code, which will not fulfill your needs that you have. So it depends how you're writing your prompts, how you're accepting your prompts. Would you have any architecture in mind? What is the architecture? What are you thinking? What variables are you using? So it is trustable? Yeah, if you do it in a correct way. And remember, you are still a programmer. That's what we do. We're gonna review code. We sometimes need to review code from our friends, do the PRs. So it's the same thing here. We have sometimes to have a bot friend that is writing some code, and then you need to say, "Hey, this is not correct," or "Hey, I don't think. Let me write this function for you." So yeah, I would say usually I would say it does. For me, it actually do. But remember, it's very good to do things that are very common. If you want to do a novel thing, imagine that MCP. I mean, it can do some MCP code, but it's not the best. You need to do, guess what? Read a docs, go to Stack Overflow, talk with people. This will never change. Put that in your mind. That will never change because they still need code developers and software engineers, technical program managers, PMs. That will never change. But we are empowered by AI. That's my take. That's my 2 cents here.
Yeah,
Yes.
and speaking of code generation, I can really remember. Sorry for cutting you short, Bruno.
I know, no
Some
problem.
weeks back, I had Bruno take a look at some code that I had written, and Copilot actually helped out. And Bruno was like, "Hey, these are the errors of your code," and I was like, "Oh my god, I actually didn't see those," and Copilot didn't see those, right? Because they actually thought it was a great way to do it. Like Pablo mentioned, you're still the pilot. Copilot is just there to assist you. So, understanding what you need to do, understanding your architecture, understanding what you're trying to build goes a long way. And then Copilot is there to say, okay, you are the boss here. I'm only here to help you out. Getting somebody like Bruno to help you review your code at any point in time is very important. So, be sure to always utilize that. And then, yeah, Bruno is already showing us the agents, which you could utilize in Visual Studio, with GitHub Copilot, and it can help you go a long way. Let Bruno talk about agents and show us how that works.
No, I just want to mention that another thing that I do a lot is I test different models. So, in example, you can see that out of the box in GitHub Copilot, in VS Code, we have Cloud 3.5, 3.7, Gemini, GPTs. Give it a try to other models. You have also the chance to bring your own models right now. So you can go here to manage models and add your Olama models somewhere here. Also changing, adding tools and more. It's super trustable. It works great. I literally can't think how I am going to work if I don't have Copilot for a lot of stuff right now because I am going to be much more slower. But yes, it's there and it's really, really, really helps a lot. So sorry, we are on time. I really
Yeah,
appreciate the feedback that we have, positive energy that we have here from Marcin and more. And hey, I want to say thanks today to Pablo and Japhlet. Thanks for joining me. We are going to be probably not back online at week in the build week, or we will figure out. But maybe we see
follow
each
the
other in a
build.
month. But hey,
Busy week
thanks a
ahead.
lot.
Very busy week. Ciao, bye, folks.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.